Let me bring in
Yes.
two pictures that, because when it comes to tariffication, the government is saying, as you said, no, let's abandon quotas, let's open the market, let's liberalize the imports, let market forces bring down the prices, and that takes care of food security. And the farmers, on the other hand, are saying, well, what about us? We can't compete. And one of the easiest things for politicians to say is, well, susuportahan namin kayo so you can compete. One of the easiest things for them to promise is, oh, finally we will provide the irrigation. Finally we will do what has been neglected for the longest time. But now you're saying, irrigation, it's not that easy. It's not a snap of a finger. And even if you could snap your finger now, you're snapping your finger in an El Niño year. So what really, in the immediate term, is the prognosis for our farming sector, even if you were to succeed in advocating for greater irrigation?
Well, the first thing is our group, after we say it's kind of tough, right? We are not crybabies. We've got to do what's right. Let me give you an example of what's right. Of the 10 billion, 5 billion is going to mechanization. Everybody knows that's theoretically correct. Where's it going? It goes to this little place in Muñoz de Ecija.
This is the enhancement fund.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can say that, right? You know, since I'm in business, right? You find out you have the capacity. Have you looked at the timetable? How can you give 5 billion to a small group of 50 people who has no branches everywhere and tell them they're going to mechanize the whole place, right? Okay? I mean, it's ridiculous, actually. But what are you going to do? Say it's ridiculous? No, we got to go beyond that. We got to talk to them and say, how will you really spend the 5 billion? There are other ways. You can subcontract. You can do all these things, right? In other words, we are in the private sector. We in the private sector, we die if we're inefficient, right? In government, sometimes you're promoted, but in the business sector, suddenly you die. So our job, first of all, I love the government. They're sacrificing their lives for it and all that, but sometimes they don't have the training, etc. And we in the private sector, we are the ones guilty for this mess also. We're the ones who cut the trees illegally. We're on illegal mining. Those are the bad ones. There's good ones. In the government, it's the same thing. Let's go with the good ones, and I'm having such a desire to say, okay, we are really unhappy. Here we go again. What are we going to do with the 5 billion? You know, and if you're in the private sector, you sometimes have access to the latest technologies more easily than the world. We have it, you know, we have it. Are we gonna just say, oh, you did a job, that's bad again? No, come on, it's our country, we have to help, right? Okay, the question is, the government listen, right? Will the government listen? All right, they didn't listen in Boracay until President Duterte came in. They didn't listen to Manila Bay, right? And of course, in Manila Bay, if you're a businessman, what are the priorities? Is it for them to swim? Or is it for us to really check all the worst things that come even before Manila Bay? These are what businessmen do, correct? I mean, I was in government 1/3 of my life as an undersecretary and a secretary, and 2/3 in business sector. I'm telling you, I love the government. They really do what's good for the people, but sometimes they don't have the training, right? And the private sector, they're not all good. Some of the worst people are there, but they're also good, etc. So what we're doing is we're seeing the lay of the land, and with the difficult situation, we do what we can. For example, if we continue to be careless in El Niño, right, using the shower instead of tabo, cleaning the car with a little water, you know, going into the ground water there, which starts disappearing, you know, you're really gonna mess us up, right? And with the private sector, maybe we have some techniques, right, that might do it, right? But I want to be clear, right? I love the government, and I love the government's good people, and I saw a lot of them. But, you know, no one's perfect. We can help them. They can also help us. And I challenge my private sector. Incidentally, not everybody joined me. You know why? Because they got to do 7 things. It's like the 10 commandments. You don't do that. You don't do that. You cannot join us. One group said, Ernie, you mean to tell me we're going to squeal on our members? You don't want to squeal. You're not part of it. Keep away, right? And actually, they kept away. And I have no need for them, right? Okay? But the others, right, have volunteered to really do it. Because, as I said, water is non-existent. It's not in the radar. Now that they signed up, they got to do it.